couple of the pieces that I've finished so far. You can see the solder along the edge, and then I put the rings, as you saw, and there will be a chain back there to use it for hanging, and can never do this without getting a bunch of reflection. What else about this? Oh yes, it needs to be cleaned up afterwards. Here's another one. This one might go up on Etsy in case anybody's interested. This is a ghost tea, a little Halloween themed Polaroid double exposure that I had done. After they are all soldered in and cooled, you have some flux left on there, so it's kind of greasy. So I generally just take some Windex and clean it all off, and then after it's cleaned off, you take steel wool to the edges, and it will get smooth, because there's generally some little places where it's kind of rough where you've done the solder, and it gets all the black burnt stuff off. So you get it smooth with steel wool, and then you take carnauba wax and just put it on the edges and then buff it, and it gets very cool and shiny and very pretty. So this one has already been soldered along the edges. I'll show you another one, that process. But then there are the rings to put on the edge, which are just these little jobbers like that. But generally when I get them, they're a little bit, they're not all the way, they're kind of bent. And you have to put a little bit of flux on that, and then a little bit more flux. I'm just measuring these about 1.5 inches from the top, and then just kind of scratching the surface so I know where to go, because that's going to be covered up with more solder anyway. So then just take the soldering iron and glob a little bit of it on here. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I have to put some flux on there too. That's why it's not sticking. There. Right. There we go. Dripping down the edge, that'll come off. And then there. And then I'll do the other side later. There's a little bit more solder here than I'd like. Kind of just like burn it away a bit. There. So that's one ring. After that cools a little bit, I'll flip it over and do the ring on the other side. So that's how I get, I encase these prints in glass. And now I will, I've got 2 more that I haven't actually sandwiched in the glass. I have the 2 little C prints, which are not the cloth cyanotypes like these. They look kind of grody right now. The glass is all dirty and there's kind of burnt, burnt flux on there. But once they're cleaned up, they'll look really good And if you go to my Etsy, I actually have a number of prints that are encased in glass. They're kind of a little bit more generically themed, but they're nice. I like them anyway. But that's how you do it. So if you ever have a small piece of artwork that's thin, flat work, this is a pretty cool way to present it. A friend of mine was looking at them yesterday and said that they reminded him of, like, glass plate, which they do, which is something I haven't learned how to do, which is something that I'm very intimidated by. Some of the wet plate collodion work. So yeah, so I'm pleased today. You saw at the beginning of the video dawn, because I decided, okay, enough of this just transition stuff holding me down and me thinking, oh well, I'm gonna be gentle with myself, blah blah blah. Well, it's too long. It's time to take the bull by the horns and start living my life again. So I decided, I wrote a bunch of stuff down in a notebook yesterday and decided that I'm going to start getting up before dawn again, which is not hard to do in the wintertime, but still, I was out of bed by, what time was it? 5:30 this morning. So score one for me. I almost was feeling like, oh, I could go back to sleep, but I didn't. I got myself up and I set myself a schedule of, getting showered and dressed, meditating first before I turn on the computer, meditating, getting breakfast ready, checking emails, and kind of limiting my time online. I'll put a link to my blog post below. I wrote a little bit about it on my blog this morning, because I have a lot of time now that I can fill, and I have a lot of ways to fill it. And if I want to do this art thing, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder at it, because it takes a lot of effort. I mean, and it's a labor of love, to be sure, because it's something that I have to do, even more so than I want to do it. It's like, it's good for my health, it's good for my psyche and all of that sort of thing. So we'll see how much momentum I can get in that direction and keep going. And that's about it for now. It's a pretty nice day. We've got some high clouds floating around, but it's kind of warmish. Oh yeah, that's right, I had chiropractic equipment. I got started on the artwork on the encasing in glass, and then I had to do a couple of errands, and then I went to the chiropractor, and then I had my long walk and lunch, and then so I'm getting my schedule down little by little. I hope you're all having a good day, and yeah, that's about it. Monday, beginning of the week, it's off to a good start. Okay, take it easy. Bye-bye.